Hello again. This is the first demo video for Chapter 7. What I'm actually not going to demo anything right now. I wanted to talk very briefly about the process of flipping from Hyper-V to VMware Workstation on the desktop. As I might have mentioned before, Windows 10 wants to use Hyper-V as its virtualization platform if Hyper-V is installed. Fundamentally, Hyper-V at the desktop and VMware Workstation at the desktop are incompatible. You can have VMware Workstation installed at the same time as Hyper-V. Hyper-V will work, VMware Workstation will not. You start it up and you get credential guard errors, pipeline errors, things like that. The thing that you have to do to flip this back over is to completely uninstall Hyper-V, completely uninstall VMware Workstation, and completely reinstall VMware Workstation. If all you do is uninstall Hyper-V and then repair VMware Workstation, that will not work. You have to take it all out, put it all back in again. The good news is when you do that, when you uninstall VMware Workstation, you can leave your product configuration and your product licensing information intact. So when you reinstall it again, and several reboots later, because things as significant as pulling the Hyper-V feature out and uninstalling and reinstalling Hyper-V will take, sorry, not Hyper-V, VMware Workstation. That's at least 3 reboots that you're going to have to deal with, and that's just the risk we accept. So, what I've got here now is this is actually a kind of a setup for one of the another version of this course, which is coming in the fall. I've got a Server 2019 domain controller and a couple of ESXi hosts and my Windows 10 client, which I use for controlling said ESXi hosts. Now, this is not the setup that you will be using for this course. This course uses a couple of ESXi hosts, and you can actually build those as virtual machines. As you can see right here, I've got ESXi running quite happily inside VMware Workstation. And one of the things we're going to discuss a little bit later is the various UI options available to you. This is actually what the DCUI looks like as it is booting. The DCUI is all the UI you get on an ESXi host. If you want anything resembling, and it is an interface. It is useful for a lot of basic configuration, things like setting up your network adapters, your host name, your IP address, etc. So you can then use use this to do something much more interesting, like deploy a vCenter server appliance into one of these ESXi hosts, and then turn right around and take that vCenter server appliance and manage the host that it's sitting on. So we'll actually talk about the vCenter appliance. We'll talk about things like that in Chapter 8. With Chapter 7, we're just dealing with vSphere. Now, vSphere and the ESXi hosts are kind of equivalent to each other. This is ESXi 6.7, VM kernel release build. It's VMware 7.1. It's got, so, and actually, if I want to get into it like this, actually, you know what? Hold on. Control Alt. So I've got actually this up. Good. So there's that. Just remember, if you're flipping from one of these to the other, just make sure that you have the time to do that, because you're going to have to take some things out and put them back in again, unfortunately. But we're going to spend a couple weeks on this, so it's worth doing. Thanks, and thanks for watching.